Yeah, everyone, welcome back to No Stoves, Cisco to Bogan. We are back on the Triumph Sprint ST today. Today, this is part two for the Triumph videos. There's probably going to be a few more in the series as well. Also, a couple of little fun bits that I chucked in this video. I thought they were fun anyway. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to throw down a comment down below. And yeah, let's crack on. So we are back on to the Triumph Sprint ST. Alright, so still having the dilemma. I thought I might have had a solution without having to go to buy a tool to get the spark plugs out, because all of my spark plug sockets don't fit inside the tubes. Even like, I've got narrow ones too, and they just don't fit all the way down the tube. That's a bit frustrating. I don't know what the deal is, Triumph, but I will work out a solution, but it's just frustrating that I have to work out a solution, whether I go buy the tool or I, as I said, work out a solution. Alright, so we're going to move on to other bits. I might get the oil in so it's out of the way and done, and also move on to getting some of the electrics done as well, get the indicators hooked up for him. Alright, let's crack on. Alrighty, so I'm going to put the oil in, get that out of the way. That's the oil that Paul wants in his bike. So I'll have another look in the service manual, but it says 4 litres, so that's 4 litres with the oil filter changed. Alright, let's have a quick gander and then I'll get that done. Alrighty, so that is all the oil in, all 4 litres. So yeah, now just gotta let that sort of drain a bit more so I don't drip all everywhere, and then we'll cap it off and we'll move on to the next bit. Alright, so I'm going to move on to getting the indicators done for him. So I'm going to use the manual to see which is which. So which is the left indicator, which is the right indicator. And then we'll do up some plugs for him, and then yeah, crack on. So I've had a look in the service manual, and this is the left indicator and that is the right indicator. So when you've got LED indicators, the resistors are to slow the power down for it, because they don't use as much power as what a normal bulb does. If you don't have a resistor in, most of the time they'll just either stay fully lit or they'll flash like at a really high rate, instead of just being the normal blink, blink, blink. It'll be blink, 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 blink. So yeah, we'll take these off, redo the wiring, put that resistor back in place, and then we'll hook them up. I don't know how that's going to go for the left indicator though, because it doesn't have anything. But we'll crack on. I guess they probably did have resistor in there at one stage. So yeah, alright. Well, actually, I meant to be recording this, but yeah, so got the first one started. So got a sleeve on here, to a heat shrink sleeve to go over it, and then we've got the ends that go over the end of that. And then we'll get onto the harness side and get that all wired up as well. Oh, not wired up, plugged up really, but anyway, let's continue on. Take them all down, watch them float up till the wheel has spun around. In the corner, new ways stripped of color. If you wanna be a passenger. Okay, so the indicators are done. So I've still got to tighten up the nuts for the indicators themselves, but all the wiring is done, tucked back away so it's nice and neat. Yeah, so bugger. So still trying to find a solution to get the spark plugs out, because this is pretty much one of the last things that's going to be holding me up, is these spark plugs. Of all things, I've never had a spark plug tube give me an issue. I don't know why they're so narrow. There must be like an actual specific tool for Triumph. So we've got to work out a solution so we can get these spark plugs changed over. Yeah, because there's not much left to do. I want to do some plastic welding on here for him so that the fairings are pretty much in one piece. Man, this is frustrating. I've also got to put oil onto the air filter. So you guys would have seen it when I did the ZX9R, that you spray it down with red oil from K&N to go on the K&N filter, get it all set and ready to go, so that when the air box is ready to go back in, it can just go straight in. Triumph. Anyway, also for those who may not remember, if you're ever doing service, make sure that you use a copper anti-seize grease that goes onto the spark plugs, because but we'll see if anyone did it properly the last time when we take these ones out. If these things don't come out sort of nicely, or if they're a bit difficult to come out, then it'll be because that they haven't used that. It's pretty common. A lot of people don't seem to know for some reason when they do servicing, they change the spark plugs, that they don't put any anti-seize on there. I've also got to grab some zip ties so I can zip tie this back up for the headlights, and also I want to tidy that up down there a little bit more as well with zip ties, just so everything is where it needs to be. Alright, yeah, so I'm going to have a little break, have a think, and then get cracking back into it. Alright, so going to get onto this. I'm going to slip something underneath so that we don't heat up onto there. Yeah, I'll find a piece of metal that I can slide underneath it, and then I'll try and do some plastic welding inside it while the fairings are still on. Haven't done it with them on before, but hey, let's see how we go. Yeah, it's better than what it was. I mean, it was just all sort of roughly glued on. Alright, let's crack on. Okay, so we have that plastic weld. It doesn't look pretty. Just need to sort of let it sand down. It's still got to cool down and everything as well, so it'll go a little bit more white. But yeah, that's good. So that will hold better than the glue that was used. Yeah, so that's all good. Just needs to be sanded a little bit, as I said, then give it a whack of black and you won't even notice it's there. So I cleaned up around the side and everything as well. So I couldn't get underneath like how I would when I'm plastic welding. I'd do it on both sides. But you know what? That's done really well. So the trick is, you've got to heat up the area, get it so it's malleable, as well as using the plastic welding sticks to fill in areas, because that had a massive chunk taken out of it. So that's all filled in. So yeah, it's just got to be sanded and painted, and it's all good. So as I said, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better now. Alright, let's crack on. Okay, so let's get this filter done. So this out of the way. Then all that's left is to get these bloody spark plugs changed. Yeah, that's all's left for me to do. And then put everything back together. Alright, so what else is there? So yeah, right, we'll get that air filter out of the way and done. And yeah, that's it. That's all that's left. It's just the spark plugs and then putting everything back, or zip ties and putting everything back on. Alright. Alright, so that's the air filter done now. It's all been, sprayed up. Alright, so that's all done now. So now we just got to get these spark plugs changed, put the new ones in, and then we can put everything back together. Alright. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to have to pop down to Supercheap, buy a socket, buy some zip ties, because I forgot my zip ties. Anyway, let's crack on. Alright, so I'm going to pop down to Supercheap, grab socket, and then, yeah, hopefully we can get that socket to fit down the tube, and then we get those spark plugs changed, put everything back together, and we're good uns. Alright, rightio. Hopefully found a solution. So hopefully this one will actually fit. So let's get on to that, get these sockets hopefully, get the spark plugs hopefully out, and we'll get the new ones in and start putting everything back together. It fits, it bloody fits. Alright, so let's get these out, get the new ones in, and then move on to getting everything put back together, get things zip tied up where they're meant to be, tidy everything up, put it all together, and boom, we are done. Alright, let's crack on. When the mamas sang, I was still asleep, but now we're stressed out. Alright, so you can see there, bring it up. Okay, so as you can see, these spark plugs, while they don't look too bad, like they are quite carboned, but if you look around, sort of this area around here, you can see that there's a brown score starting to happen there. That means the spark plug is dying. So when you get stuff like that, it's I can't remember the name of what's happening, but it's yeah, that's heat and everything. Whoops. So yeah, let's get these old ones out and get the new ones in. Number 2 is a little bit better. It's not as much as the browning, the brown scoring on there. So it's not as bad as number 1, but yeah, still very carbon buildup. Alright. So this one, much like the first one, a bit more scoring on that one. The brown burn heat marks. Carbon buildup. Alrighty. So that is the spark plugs in. A couple of anti-seize on there as well. So just whoever is the next one to service this bike down the track, if it's me again, then I've done myself a favour. And if it's another person doing the service, well, I've done them a favour. Alright, so yeah, those were really hard to get out because of the fact that no anti-seize was put on there when it should have been. Alright, let's crack on, get some zip ties done, get all this sort of plumbed in as well, get it all put back together. Alrighty, let's crack on. Also, I've put these in order so that they go back into the same order that they were originally in there. So I'll get these suckers in. I'll sort all these back out again so they all go, everything goes back where it's meant to. Alrighty. Airbox is in. So yeah, it's all together, all the plugs are in, all plugged up, everything's all connected, all the hoses that go to the tank, to the airbox. So next, I might get this tank in. Alright, so that is the tank on. Just got to slot parts back in. Okay, so we just got to put the bolts into here for them. Before I do all this up, I just want to chuck the key in and just test the indicators, make sure they are working properly. I am starting to run out of time. Alright, so we have gone ahead and plastic welded that. Got to let that cool down and then I can fit it, but we'll get the other bits on. So we just got to get the underside tray finished being attached. A couple of other little bits and pieces and then boom, it's good to go. Chuck some fuel in it. Oh yeah, we've got to do up those indicator bolt nuts down the back there. Yeah, let's do a light test, make sure everything's all good. Yeah, that one's working, that one's working. That one's working, that one's working. So that side there has a resistor in it, and the other side doesn't. So down the track, I'm going to jump on Paul's bike again and put a resistor in for this back one. Which was what I was thinking was going to happen, is what's happening. So yeah, it's just got to get a resistor. I've got some at home, so I can bring it around another day for him. Alright, but yeah, let's that should be cooled down a bit by now. I'll let it cool down a little bit further. I just might have a smoke, and then I can put that on and we get everything on. Alright, so that should have cooled down enough. Yeah, that's definitely cooled down enough. Stronger than it was before, not attached. Alright, so let's get this the sides completed, get the front completed. So we just got a couple of bits to do up in there, and yeah, that's flat. Alright, so we're using this camera. The other one is flat. Alright, so we now have the bike completely back together for Paul. Oh, what a mish. What a mish. Well everyone, that's it for this one. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. There's probably going to be some more videos for the Triumph. I think there's some other stuff that Paul would want me to do for his bike. If you guys are enjoying what I'm doing, like with the builds and with the events that I go to as well, don't forget, like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Make sure there's Instagram, Facebook as well. Make sure you give them a follow, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.